we will move into our first segment today. We're going over our top 10 consensus fantasy quarterbacks. Let's pull this up here. Bam. Here it goes. All right. Number 10 in our fantasy quarterback rankings, we have Mr. Russell Wilson. And I actually didn't have Russell Wilson in my top 10. Sorry, Russell Wilson fans. But I see that everybody else did, so I had to put him number 10. Number 7, Tony, you have him as 7. You want to start talking about some Russell Wilson coverage here?
I see the Broncos doing very well this season. Russell Wilson's always done great with the Seahawks. We saw him destroy the Colts on week 1 last year.
Yeah, we were both there for that. That was terrible.
Yeah, he was just throwing bombs out there. It's the consistency with Russell Wilson. He has a good set of receivers on his side this year again. I think he's gonna be just fine. The 7. I see him going out there and giving them the Walmart special, man.
The Walmart special. Daniel, you have Russell Wilson ranked as your number 9 quarterback in fantasy this year.
9.
What do you have on Russell Wilson?
I think Russell Wilson will do really well this year. Wait, pause. Before I actually start, I just want to say, let's ride. Dude, that shit's hilarious. But anyway, my mic arm just broke.
Oh, well,
we're talking like this. It's time to buy a new one of those.
All right.
Love to see that. Holy shit.
I'll give you some likes.
Look.
That's why we do it live, folks.
Shit just fell off. I've had this for like 3 years, bought it on Amazon.
And it had to break during the stream. All right.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to be a fucking clip. Love that. Anyway, Russell Wilson, yeah. I have him at number 9. I think the more and more, like the closer we get to the season, the more sold I'm becoming on the Broncos, and I'm a little afraid of them at this point. They played Dallas yesterday. I mean, none of the starters played yesterday, but I think Russell Wilson will do really well this year. He hasn't had too much talent to back him up in the past couple of years, and I think Denver's doing something really special, and I think they're going to get back together real soon. Russell Wilson is going to do really good this year. I'm excited to see him.
Well, to me, Russell Wilson's an amazing quarterback. He is better at throwing accurate moonshot passes than he is throwing to the middle of the field. For some reason, he hates the middle of the field. I don't think that this Denver offense will be too different than what he had in Seattle. They just lost Tim Patrick this season to a torn ACL about a week ago. He does have Cortland Sutton, and Wilson is the best QB Sutton has ever had. I am curious to see what their chemistry will be like this year. He has Jerry Jeudy, who I might compare to Lockett in Seattle. I like Sutton for Wilson, and I think if he throws a deep ball, it can be there for them. I have him as number 11 overall in my rankings, but I still like Wilson in later rounds in fantasy drafts. I'll still like if he's there later and I don't have a quarterback yet, I won't skimp on Russell Wilson. I'll still take him. But Steven, what you got on Russell Wilson?
He should be better this year. I mean, I think he has a decent offensive line to kind of not make sure he gets hurt this year or hit a lot. I mean, I had him at 10, so I mean, it's right where I think he is. He's a great quarterback still, no doubt about that.
He is a great quarterback.
Change the scenery will be nice for him, so he should be pretty decent, and we'll see how far he can take the Broncos this year. He's in a tough division, so
that's why we play the games. He's in a really tough division, and we'll move on to number 9. Number 9 in our fantasy quarterback rankings is Mr. Jalen Hurts. Daniel, would you like to go first since you hate the Eagles? With your broken mic arm.
It's just getting worse and worse.
Hey, we can still hear you though, so that's good.
Yeah. What are we on? Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
So I have Jalen Hurts actually under Russell Wilson at number 10. Ugh, I'll say it over and over again. I hate the Eagles. It's never going to change. Jalen Hurts, he still has not proved himself to me. I feel like if the Eagles had, that reliable QB1, that they would have done a lot better last year. But for that, I mean, he's a really good quarterback. He has a lot of potential, and I think he'll do pretty good this year, and I'm scared to see him twice this year against Dallas. Hopefully they don't end up in the wild card playing each other because Philly's going to be scary, man.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts will do really well, though. He's got crazy weapons now with the addition of A.J. Brown. So,
yeah, they're going to be pretty scary. Steven, fellow Cowboy fan, Jalen Hurts, what do you think?
Trash. Just kidding. No, he's a decent quarterback. I mean, I don't have him in my top 10. I mean, I just like Daniel said, he has to prove it to us. He's very inaccurate, as we learned last year. Other than that, he's got a lot of juicy receivers to work with now. So if he doesn't play well, I mean, it's gonna look bad on him, not his receivers. So we'll see.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. Just so everybody knows, this is Steven's first year doing fantasy football, and we are excited to have him in the league this year. But last year, Jalen Hurts finished as QB9 overall. He did that despite only having over 200 passing yards in 6 total games last year. All the games he played last year, only 6 of them, he had over 200 passing yards. The part of what makes him so dangerous is his ability to run. He is one of the few QBs that is a huge rushing threat to opposing defenses, like what I just said. The passing should get better this season with the addition of A.J. Brown. He has Devontae Smith going into year 2. I also think the Eagles have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL this year. That is why I like Hurts this year, and I think the Eagles are winning the NFC East this year. Sorry, Daniel and Steven.
Well, I don't agree with them winning the East, but their
going to
offensive line is
contend
definitely beefed up.
Yeah. Tony, what you got on Jalen Hurts?
I like how you, first of all, you just slid that in there. He's going to take the East.
Yeah, because I think that's what's going to happen. I'm the highest on Jalen Hurts out of anybody. I have him ranked as my quarterback 5.
You know, honestly, you're not wrong. I mean, I said that last week. I see him winning the East as well. But I just like how you slid that right after the Cowboys.
Yeah, we always got to slide it into everybody. Like, okay.
Casey, I want to ask you a question real quick before we finish up with Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Who'd you play in the fantasy football championship 2 years ago when I beat you?
Here we go. All right,
when
so.
I beat you.
All right. I had Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was playing the Washington, whatever they were back then, and Josh Allen was playing the Patriots. The Patriots had Josh Allen scored 4 points against the Patriots earlier in the year. So that's why I didn't want to play him. Jalen Hurts had like 30 against Washington, and Jalen Hurts laid an egg for me. So
Casey lost to me my first year in the league in the championship by 4 points. No, was it 4 points?
It was close. It was like 4 or 5 points.
He started Jalen Hurts over Josh Allen, one of the highest caliber quarterbacks in the league.
No. This was before he was super high caliber.
No. This was his come up year. He played one bad game against the Patriots, and it cost Casey his season, the trophy, and the prize money.
Hey, and now his name is on the trophy forever.
And
also, my team name was the I Hate Casey team. Just had to throw that out.
Yeah, that's his name. But I could have been the only person in my league to be back a 2-time champion. We don't have any 2-time champions at all. 7 years, 7 different champions. Daniel is one of them. But we're gonna move on. Our 8th ranked QB in our consensus top 10 quarterback fantasy rankings. I can't talk today. Holy crap! Is Dak Prescott.
Dak. What can we say?
You have
about
him
Dak,
as
Daniel?
QB9.
I do. I had him a little lower. I know. What can you say? What can't you say? I mean, he's a great quarterback. He has to prove it this year again. I mean, he started off phenomenally great last year, and then he started to taper off as the season went on. So we got to see if he can stay consistent this year. If he stays consistent, he'll take Dallas far. If not, then Dallas is a wild card loss again. We'll see.
Daniel, ready to rant about your QB?
Absolutely.
No, it's coming.
Dak Prescott was on crazy record pace the first, I think 6 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
And like Steven said, he slowed down a little bit. Still finished QB3. A lot of people tend to forget that. He was phenomenal last year. Dak Prescott is the heart of the Dallas Cowboys, and nobody will ever convince me otherwise. He is probably my favorite player in the league right now. Obviously being a Cowboys fan, but on the team, he's definitely what drives the team. The offensive line really needs to, one, not have penalties because they're probably going to stack up a lot, having seen yesterday. But I have all the faith in the world in Dak, and he's proved himself to me. He's my QB1, so that's all I have to say.
Tony, I know you're a huge Cowboy hater, and you don't even have Dak Prescott in your top 10, which I think you were crazy for. But I want you to explain yourself. Go for it.
No, honestly, I think there's a lot more talent, especially this year. The Cowboys don't have the receiving line that they've had in the past, so they're going to struggle with that. They are consistent with penalties, so I see them taking a lot from him because of that. Like Steven said, he needs to be consistent this year, and that's what's gonna bring him back up. But I don't see him being in the top 10.
Well, I personally have Dak at QB7 this year. No Amari Cooper, no Cedric Wilson. Michael Gallup is still nursing a knee injury. He'll be back, but these are not the Cowboys of past years. Since Kellen Moore took over as the Cowboys offensive coordinator, the Cowboys are number 1 in pace of play, and they were the number 1 scoring offense last year in fantasy. A lot of people forget that. I don't think you can't put Dak Prescott not put him in your top 10 when they're the number one scoring offense a year ago. Dak was one of the players that has averaged over 300 pass yards a game in the past. And to me, he's like Burrow, where I could see either one of them leading the league as QB1 this year. I can't rank him higher than where I have him. I have him at 7 because some of his weapons he's lost, but Dak will still be a solid fantasy QB this season. But we'll move on to number 7 here in our rankings. Trying to keep our pace going a little faster than last week because I know we had a 2.5 hour stream last week. But we have Kyler Murray at number 7. Tony, I don't think you have Kyler Murray in your top 10.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I totally forgot about Kyler Murray.
Who the fuck is in your top 10?
It's because you didn't
Dude's
study
got
long enough.
fucking Mason Rudolph in his top 10.
Honestly, they're gonna struggle for 6 weeks because obviously they have receivers out, they have the big players out, the key players out of the offensive line. But Kyler Murray is always good. Has his times where he'll struggle, but I think they've made him focus a lot more this season, so he's gonna do fine. Doesn't explain the fact that I forgot about him, but
Daniel, before we get to you, I have a question for you with Kyler Murray.
I might have an answer.
Do you still want to play Call of Duty with him?
Dude, that stat is so good. I love that so much. That like came out to the world and just became a thing. It's so awesome. For anyone that doesn't know, Kyler Murray's stats have significantly decreased every year in late October, early November because of the release of Call. No, it's not because of the release of Call of Duty.
They're just linking
it's
it
coincidental.
to him.
But like the link is there, and it's phenomenal.
It just correlates very nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have Kyler Murray as your number 7.
I dropped a piece of my mic. I'm still over here just trying to figure out how
The
I'm gonna
microphone
use this.
saga.
It's completely taken apart at this point. Where do I have Kyler? I have him at 7. Yeah. So Kyler Murray is a producer, in my opinion. He finds ways to produce no matter what, whether it's with his legs, with his arm. He's a high caliber player. And he just finds ways to produce. He won't have D-Hop for the first 6 games of the season?
6 games. Yeah, he's suspended 6 games.
So I mean that will probably take away a little bit, but I don't think it'll be that significant. Tough division, definitely, but again, he's a guy that produces, so I like him going forward this season.
Last year, Kyler Murray finishes QB 10 last year. A lot of people are on this guy big this year, but I still am not. He can move. He's a great football player, but I think he has some growing up to do. Regardless, he's still in my top 10 because the talent is there. I have him at QB 8 on the year. Who did I miss? Steven, you want to talk about some Kyler Murray?
He has a lot of weight on his shoulders now, especially with all that talk about his contract, with all that studying in his contract. I mean, he's gonna have to. I think he's gonna try and force a lot of things to make it seem like he's working on it, but he should still be good. Hopkins being out for a while is gonna hurt a little bit, but he should be fine. He'll finish in the top 10 easily this year still.
Yeah, I think this will be a big maturing season for Kyler Murray, and if he doesn't, he's gonna stay mediocre for the rest of his career. But I think this will be his maturing season.
Yeah, he's got some proving to do this year for sure. But we'll move on to the next quarterback. Quarterback number 6 in our rankings is Mr. Tom Brady, Mr. Unretirement. Brady was the QB3 overall in fantasy last season in fantasy points scored. He had 5,316 pass yards and accounted for 43 touchdowns. He did this at 44 years old, people. That is insane. Then he retires. Then he unretires. I think he's going to play until he's like 50, and I'm just kidding. I think this is his last hurrah here, whatever he does.
Not if he wins the Super Bowl, it's not.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Peyton Manning went off with a Super Bowl win, so. But he has no Antonio Brown this year. Godwin is hurt. Gronk retired. This just won't be the same Tampa team as last year. Yes, I do think Brady will do well this season, but I don't think he will be QB3 overall like last year. That being said, because I said that, he's going to have his best season ever. So
he's going to be QB1, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be QB1, throw for 6,000 yards, you know. But the guy just never goes away. Steven, what do you think about Tom Brady? You think it's time for him to retire?
It's been time for him to retire
for 10 years.
10 years now.
He won a Super Bowl 2 years ago, though.
Yeah,
I know he did.
I have him as my QB9 this year, by the way.
I have him at 5. He's Tom Brady. He's going to be great. Like you said, a little different Tampa team, but it's still a good Tampa team, so he should do fine. He'll finish in the top 5, I think, still in fantasy, so he should be fine.
Yeah, my Colts get to see Tom Brady this week in the preseason. Maybe he plays.
Cowboys
He
do
will
too.
not be
Game
playing.
1.
Yeah, but Tony, what do you think of Tom Brady?
Like at the end of the day, it's Tom Brady, man. He's gonna do just fine. I have him at 6 this year. Like you said, he's missing a lot of his receivers from past seasons, so he's gonna be fine. He's just not gonna be as good this year just because he's lacking the weapons. But he'll find a way. Somehow he always does.
He can throw
He's
the
probably
ball.
listening on, yeah. Somehow he's just listening on the stream just to prove you wrong.
He's going to be in the chat right now. Be like, you're wrong. Daniel, I know you have some strong opinions towards Tom Brady. Let's take your broken mic and let's get him.
Timeout. What opinions? What are you talking about?
Last week when you're
You
just
think I
like,
hate Tom Brady or what?"
Tom Brady just needs to retire.
He does.
He needs to go away.
old. He needs to go away. He needs to let the league fucking win. He's the GOAT, dude. You can't bet against Tom Brady, and I learned my lesson very, very roughly. Betting against him, thinking that he wouldn't win 2 years ago, and he just comes back. He never gives up. He's a certified winner. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. There's no you can't put it past him. I mean, 6 Super Bowls. He proved everybody wrong by leaving the Patriots, going to a different organization, and winning the Super Bowl with them first year in.
7 Super Bowls, no?
He's got 7 now.
Yeah, with Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, who knows? He might win another one this year, but we'll move on from Tom Brady. We're going to go to QB number 5 in our rankings, who is Joe Burrow. Who wants to go first about Joe Burrow? Tony, since he's in your division, we'll start with you.
He's a dangerous kid, man. Daniel said it last week. He just takes his dong out and
Say it
throws
loud
it
and
out
proud.
there.
Man's got a huge
This
cock.
kid, this dude's good. He has an arm. He has a cannon of an arm. He's smart on the field. There's a lot of weapons on the Bengals side of the offense, so he's gonna do great. I think he might fight to move himself up. I have faith that he'll be able to knock out Lamar from being above him, but he has yet to prove himself on that.
Steven, what you think about Joe Burrow?
He's young. He's great. I mean, he took the Bengals. He took the Bengals to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, that's
with no
still weird to
offensive
say.
line. With no offensive line, as you see my dog's butt up in the air. But Joe Burrow, he's going to improve. He has a better offensive line. He's going to be able to make more throws. He's going to be much better. It's going to be scary to see Cincinnati, honestly. We'll see.
For Joe Burrow, for me, this is a QB to look out for this season. He finished as QB8 last year, and if he has no injury setbacks, he could be top 5 or even possibly lead the league this year as QB1. I think him and Dak have that capability. He had the best offensive line upgrade of any team, adding Alex Kappa to Tampa Bay, La'el Collins from your Dallas Cowboys, and he also added Hayden Hurst from Atlanta, who can block as well. Good tight end.
Great tight end.
Yeah. Add them with the weapons like T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. He could go absolutely crazy this year. He now has the protection, and he has young weapons. They're another year wiser. Burrow will be a threat this season.
You said that so, nice.
Yeah.
It was so, peacefully said,
That's what I think he's going to do. I mean, he's going to do
Joe
really
Burrow
well.
is fucking so good, it's scary. I'm glad that you compared Joe Burrow to Dak, though, that you see, the winner in both of them.
Yeah, they're
a lot
both
of people
winning
don't
QBs.
see that in Dak. And it's shitty to say, it's mostly Cowboys fans that are like, oh, Dak Prescott sucks. He's the problem. Fuck off. That is the least of our concerns. But anyway, back to Joe Burrow. I have Joe Burrow at 6. And the only reason for that is because of all the talent that there is at the quarterback position in the NFL this year. Obviously, we'll get to the rest of our rankings right now. But Joe Burrow is he's a winner, man. Through and through. He's got that swagger he brings to the team, and I think it rubs off a lot on the team. I think that's why Cincinnati was in the championship last year, because I think he brought a mentality to the team that was like, we're going to fucking win or nothing. There's no other option. And that's actually what Dallas has been lacking for, 25 years. But he's that dude, man. He has been his whole life. If you can get him, go get him.
Yeah, get him in your drafts for sure. We're going to move on to our top 4, which I think consensusly we have here. Coming in at quarterback 4, we have Mr. Lamar Jackson
I don't have Lamar
from
here.
the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar coming back from injury, that should be interesting. He is only a few years removed from the best fantasy year a QB has ever had. Did you guys know that he had the best fantasy season that any quarterback's ever had?
Last year?
No, in 2019. It was the best fantasy season any quarterback has ever had. He averaged over 80 rush yards a game that year, and that's crazy. Last year, Jackson finished as QB 15 on the year, but that was mainly due to him only playing 12 games because of his injury. If he stays healthy all season, he should bounce back nicely. He's getting his offensive weapons back, his running backs. Their defense is coming back. The whole team was basically in the hospital last year. So, I mean, I think they're going to bounce back nicely. Tony, they're in your division. Are you scared of Lamar Jackson this year?
No, the defense has taken care of him.
You thought about it.
The defense.
That slight little thought about it.
I mean, you can't just knock them completely out. I mean, last year both the Bengals and the Ravens were difficult as hell. The Steelers took care of the Bengals twice. They were able to contain Jackson. They should be fine, especially beefing up the defense this year. But at the end of the day, it's still Lamar Jackson. He's fast. He's accurate. He's proven himself time and time again. I think 2019 he had such a great season because he had so many people hurt. He was the running game. They didn't have any running backs because they were all out.
Do you think they're going to run him a lot this year, or do you think they're going to try and be conservative? Because I think if they're smart, they'd be conservative.
Yep, they're going to try and keep him in the pocket again. That's what they've been working on since last year. He was a little awkward. He's getting better with it. Obviously, it comes with time. But end of the day, it's still Lamar Jackson. He's still a great player, great quarterback. He's smart on the field. As long as he doesn't get the shits and have to leave in the middle of the game again.
Steven, your take on Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what happened with Dak last year. I mean, where Dallas was scared to run him at all because of his leg. I think they're going to be ultra conservative with him, especially with all of his running backs back, I guess. They're going to rely on them more for the running game and let Lamar worry about controlling the game, passing the ball, and scrambling if need be. But they're not going to – I think they're going to be easy on the calling for quarterback sneaks, but he's still a great quarterback. He's going to do well. I mean, tough division, though. We'll see.
Yeah, well, one of the toughest divisions in the whole
AFC is just tough.
The AFC is crazy this year.
I feel like this whole season is going to be kind of strange, like just all around. Like it's very like there's nothing in the middle. You're either like in playoff contention or you're just garbage. I don't know.
What do you think of Lamar Jackson, Daniel?
It'll be interesting to see what they do this year. They could go either way with him. He's got a cannon for an arm. He can sling it in there. He's a really good quarterback. He's proved himself for a couple of years now. Having said that, though, I don't know that they stray away from that RPO offense. It's becoming a lot more prominent with a lot of different teams. I don't see why they wouldn't use that. I get you're trying to protect from injury, but at the end of the day, it's football. It's the National Football League. Like people are going to get injured and you can't be afraid of that.
Yeah.
So I think they'll still implement the RPO a lot with that team. And I think the Ravens will do really well this year. I personally had Lamar Jackson at 3. He's proven himself for a couple years now, last year barring injury. But if he's still available, late second round, early third round, go get him.
I'm going to move on to number 3. I think our top 3 is pretty much self-explanatory here. But number 3, we have Patrick Mahomes. Steven, I'm going to start with you on Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, Patrick, you saw him yesterday. The one series he was in, he was 6 for 7, 70 yards. I mean,
Jesus
he was
Christ.
Patrick Mahomes of always, and he's going to be great. He's going to take the Chiefs really far. He's in a tough division again. That AFC is just tough as it is. Like Daniel said, you're either good or you're not. He'll be fine. He did lose Tyreek Hill. Not going to bother him. He's still got a great wide receiving core. He'll be fine. He'll be in the top 3 easily.
Yeah, I'll see him in week 3 in Indy for our home opener. So, which Daniel said the Colts are going to win. So I really appreciate that, Daniel. But I have Patrick Mahomes as my number 3 quarterback this season, despite him losing Tyreek Hill, Byron Pringle, Demarcus Robinson. Some people are saying that he is going to drop off this year because of the players he lost. I just can't see it. Like you said, Steven, what do you say? He was 6 for 7 for like 70 yards or something like that?
Yeah, there was just one series yesterday. He was 6 for 7, easy. Nothing ever happened.
Yeah, his current average draft position in fantasy drafts right now is the 5th round. That's kind of crazy.
Wait, hold on. What?
His ADP is in the 5th round right now in fantasy drafts.
Y'all are stupid. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's insane.
If he is there in the 5th round, I'm taking him. He still has Travis Kelce. He acquired Juju Smith-Schuster, and they drafted Sky Moore. We educated Daniel on Sky Moore last week. Mahomes is also a rushing threat, and he will still be an elite fantasy quarterback this season. Last year, Mahomes accounted for 37 touchdowns and finished as the QB4 overall on the season. The guy is just a playmaker. Daniel, you care to weigh in on Patrick Mahomes here?
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Patrick Mahomes is a certified winner. And like the top 5 of our quarterbacks here, I feel like they're all at that level because of their mentality and the way that they play the game. They all have that mentality, like nobody's gonna beat me. Like I'm that dude, you know. You guys kind of summed it all up. Patrick Mahomes lost some weapons. He got new ones. He's Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs are gonna do really well this year. He's proved himself to me.
Tony, you got anything to say on Patrick Mahomes? He's like, nope, I'm good. All right, I think it's all pretty much been said. We'll move on to number 2 in our
That's
rankings.
the wrong list.
Oh, that is the wrong list. Oh, we'll see that list in a little bit. My bad. We'll move on to number 2 in our rankings, which is Mr. Justin Herbert from the Los Angeles Chargers. Tony, since you didn't say anything about Patrick Mahomes, we will start with you. Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, young kid, great offense, very smart on the field. He's always consistent with points, both on fantasy and on the field. Dude's good. I'm excited to see how he's going to do this year. Talking about their offense, I think since we're going into running backs, I think he's going to struggle with Austin Eckler, especially if he can't stay healthy. But besides that, he's going to be just fine. The Chargers are a good team.
Yeah, I borderline had Herbert at QB1 overall. I have him at QB2, which is our consensus here. I don't think anybody had Herbert at QB1, but I almost put him at QB1. I won't be surprised if he ends the year at QB1, but I can't put him there just yet, just because we all know who QB1 is. He averaged just about 300 pass yards per game in his first 2 years in the NFL. Herbert finished as QB2 in fantasy last year. Their offense was already great. They added some key defensive players as well, such as Khalil Mack. Watch out for Herbert and the Chargers this year. Daniel, care to weigh in on Mr. Justin Herbert?
Herbie.
Fully loaded.
Fully loaded, baby.
It's fully loaded with a team. Chargers might have fans after this season.
Being a Chargers fan has been rough for a while. No, dude, the Chargers, I want to see the Chargers do well. I'm so tired of the Chargers, like, being a good team and just not getting there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're such a good, solid, all-around team, and Justin Herbert is a stud quarterback. I had him kind of borderline with number 1 as well. But, yeah, I mean, losing, like, even if Austin Eckler does get hurt, I don't think that'll affect him that much. I mean, does Austin Eckler really catch that much out of the backfield? I feel like he doesn't.
He's a good pass catching back, though.
Yeah,
he is,
and he also gives them relief.
Right.
He's a good distraction.
Yeah. Even then, though, I think Justin Herbert's going to do like super well this year. Again, borderline number 1 for me this year, quarterback.
Steven, any Justin Herbert slander?
Not really. I mean,
Slander.
It's not slander, at least.
I know.
I mean, he's a great quarterback. He'll be fine, as everyone said. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. Everyone else covered it. He'll be great.
All right, well, we'll move on to our number 1 overall consensus quarterback, which I think everybody can guess who it is. It is Mr.
Baker Mayfield.
Josh Allen. Baker Mayfield. Mr. Josh Allen. Really, I think he'd be having a Super Bowl ring this fall had it not been for a coin flip.
We get it. Coin flip happened. God, get over it.
Steven, start with you.
Josh Allen, he's a great quarterback. I think he'll win Super Bowl MVP. If they make it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, he'll easily be the MVP. He's just that good.
Last year, Josh Allen averaged about 45 rush yards per game and about 260 pass yards per game. He finishes the QB1 overall last season, and those are some great fantasy stats. The rush yards alone give you an extra 4.5 fantasy points a game, and that can be huge in any fantasy matchup. Like Daniel said, he beat me by like 4 points the one year that I lost the championship, but had I played Josh Allen, it would have been good. Yes, Cole Beasley and Emmanuel Sanders left this offseason, but the Bills did bring in Gabriel Davis and Jamison Crowder in the offseason, and I think they can play the same roles that they played. Yeah. Allen also has Stephon Diggs to throw to, and he will be just fine. Josh Allen is an elite team, and I see him as a QB1 when it's all said and done. Tony, what you got on Josh Allen?
I mean, you said the bulk of it. He's always been consistent. The Bills finally knocked out the Patriots from the top team on the division. He's consistent, gets a job done. If he doesn't take the Bills to a Super Bowl anytime soon, it's going to be surprising. There's a lot of talent there. He's great, smart on the field, insane amount of yards, throwing in every game. He's fine. Picking him up is going to be great on your fantasy.
He's fine.
Like I said,
just
the
fine.
Bills got 2 years, or they're frauds.
Yeah.
Danny, what you
Agreed.
got on Josh Allen?
I mean, we pretty much covered most of it. We all have him at 1. You guys all have him at 1, yes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no questioning it. I mean, he's, again, certified winner, just like the top 5 of this board. I mean, you saw it last year. He should have been in the Super Bowl, should have won it. He is that quarterback that you want. You know, he's got the size, he's got the arm, he's great in the pocket. He's
smart.
There's nothing wrong with him at all. He's just he's like a perfect quarterback, and it's crazy. But yeah, number 1 for a reason.